What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the iTrade Crypto YouTube channel. These live streams that I do here on this channel are basically just live stream hangouts where I do an analysis. You guys ask some questions. We have a little bit of a back and forth discussion, have a little bit of a hangout here, and then we go from there. We just, go with the flow. Nothing really planned here. Right now Bitcoin is not really doing all that much. That's why the thumbnail here says Bitcoin flatlined, because the price pretty much has flatlined. We'll get into that more. We'll do some more of an analysis soon. But stick in there, guys. Just going to let people join in on the stream, and I will be right back. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let me know if the audio is good. I see we have about 20 people who have already joined in, so that's awesome, guys. Let me know if the audio is good. Hit that like button. We'll get started here. So, my OBS has been treating me a little bit better recently. I've had a lot of moments in these streams where my OBS would just like crash, but right now it seems to be working well. Things seem to be fine. I changed my layout a little bit here, as you guys can see. It just feels a little bit more like intuitive, I guess you could say, to have it like this. So, you know, I have this for, you know, talking to you guys, and this for, you know, talking about charts and whatnot. Anyway, so on the top here of the screen, you can see that this is the top 3 volume cryptos are displayed on the top. So whatever cryptos have the most volume right now are going to be displayed at the top. So obviously it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and EOS right now. I was expecting it to be Ripple, but I guess not. I guess it's EOS right now. Top volume, I believe. Actually, let me just check that. I didn't even notice that. 24-hour volume. Okay, so EOS is above XRP for 24-hour volume. So there you go. Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS on the top. Obviously, on the left here, you have Bitfinex are the orders on Bitfinex, the price of Bitcoin, and Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, and Bitcoin Cash there on the side. So, guys, thank you all for joining in. Let me just see what's going on in chat here. Everyone just saying what's up. Okay, cool. Audio's good. Guys, make sure the audio is good. Let me know if the music is playing, if the audio is good, because I like to have some music playing. It just makes it a little bit more interesting when, you know, you're live and you're trying to do things live. Keep it going, keep it flowing, make it, you know, feel good for you guys. Anyway, so guys, right now, Bitcoin is flatlining. Really not much going on. The price of Bitcoin is pretty stable at these levels right now. But obviously, if we're going to go ahead and look at our support zones, which is, you know, pretty much anywhere between the, you know, more like 5,800, 6,000 level. That's our, you know, golden support zone right here. And if we are going to go ahead and check out our resistance point, the most consistent resistance point, guys, is this area right here. You know, a lot of people ask me, Kevin, how do you draw your trend lines? Like, how are you making that decision of where to draw it? Well, there's no real right way to do it, but what you want to do is find the most consistent point on the chart where the resistance, where the price is getting rejected the most consistently, guys. So I'm just telling you guys this for people who may be a little bit less experienced who are joining the stream now. So if we map that area out, we'll find that these resistance points obviously line up pretty well, and that's why this is where we are placing a resistance point. Sorry, my mouse isn't letting me draw. There we go. And here you go, guys. So it's interesting to see right now that the price of Bitcoin is so stable, because right now we are sitting right here, right below that resistance point. So we're squeezing in, guys. The price is now converging to a point where there's probably, most likely, going to be some sort of major decision, major market decision being made soon. You know, people like Tone Vays, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of Tone Vays already. He thinks that if we don't drop to 5K soon, that we're going to be trading right here for like 6 months or something. I don't even remember, to be honest. I don't even remember exactly what Tone Vays said, but he thinks we're going to be trading sideways for like months or something, and I don't think so, guys. I think that most likely the price is gonna, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a violent move up or a violent move down. It could just be something like here. If I go ahead and draw, you know, at this point, guys, I can just show you what I personally expect to be the most likely scenario. So, like, you know, my last video I put out was a false breakout, the potential for a false breakout. Whoops. So if we go ahead and move in, the only thing that would have to happen, guys, for the false breakout to actually play out would be a break to this area right here. Pretty much, if the price hits 70, pretty much, you know, 7,100 to 7,500, that's considered a false breakout, because we're actually getting above the most consistent resistance point here, guys. So if the price gets anywhere above that, it's technically a breakout, although I don't think it's going to last very long. I think we're actually going to end up curling over. If the price does break above 69 to 7,000, it is technically a breakout. But, of course, you know, we have this resistance point to cross. We have this resistance point to cross. And I think most likely we'll get rejected somewhere in here. and then of course the price, you know, it's possible, you know, the price could have, you know, have that false breakout, end up actually falling below. I can't even draw here, guys, sorry. False breakout and end up falling below, just like we did here, guys. Right here, the price was pretty much stable on this support level. Right here. And then we actually ended up breaking down. So we could have the same thing happen where we come up and we break down. And essentially it would just be another level of support, you know, false support building. And then, you know, we break down again. And that's kind of, I kind of think this is the most likely scenario, guys, where it's going to be relatively stable overall, but there'll be short moments of panic sell with some stability, and then panic sell, some stability, panic sell, stability. And I think it's going to kind of play out in this way for the next few months, in my opinion, guys. I think it's going to look something like this. You know, the timing is hard to predict, but you know, those just false support lines building pretty much like we saw right here. Same thing happened here, actually, guys. If you're taking a look, you know, we're on the weekly chart, so it's harder to see, but right here, I can't even, why is my computer letting me click this? It's really annoying. There you go. That's a new, you know, in my opinion, I think it's a false support area building right here. That line is kind of hard to see. False support line, price drops, false support line, price drops, false support line. I think it's basically just going to play out like this, guys. But right now, let me just open up a new window here so I don't lose what I drew. But right now, guys, it's really interesting because this is the most stable Bitcoin has ever, or has been all year long. We have never had this many consecutive weeks. So we're on the weekly chart here, guys. If you're checking out the weekly chart, we have not had this many consecutive weeks ever this year. Right? So we're at this point. It's crazy. It's kind of crazy to look at. Like, it seems like, you know, the price is doing right now. The Bitcoin's price is doing things it has not done for, I guess you could say, since end of April of 2016, guys. Since the end of April of 2016, Bitcoin has not been this stable at all. So this is the most stable we've ever been since April of 2016, guys. So it's really interesting to see. You know, we're at a point now where something's going to happen. Something's got to give, right? And personally, I think we are going to be moving to the downside, even if there is a false breakout, or sorry, even if there is a breakout here. I do not expect it to last, and I expect it to be a false breakout, and we would eventually end up actually, you know, moving back below the support area. I just don't think that there is anything coming up right now that really gives Bitcoin a reason to just chug along and break all-time highs again, guys. I mean, it just doesn't. I don't see the demand being that high right now. You know, people aren't using Bitcoin. They're just using it as a store of value or speculating with it. So for me, guys, if there's no usage, there's no growth, guys. No usage equals no growth. If there's, I'm basically expecting, if there is going to be if we are going to break all-time highs again, I expect us to have a much more significant pullback, even if it is just the continuation of a speculative bubble. We would have to have a break, I believe, to some of these parabolic lows before we actually have enough momentum and enough positive sentiment to get the general population, to get retail investors back in the game buying Bitcoin, guys. Let me just go through chat real quick to see what you guys are saying. OG's in the house. Crypto Cali, what's up? Eric Runzo, thanks for another quality video. What's up, guys? Nicholas Brown is here. Blade Runner Tunes, yeah, man. Eric Runzo says, Kev, are we breaking out of the wedge this weekend? Guys, it's hard to say. I mean, guys, here's the thing. Here's the wedge, right? We're looking at the wedge on the screen right now, obviously, right? So take a look at the screen. The price is converging into this area. It's squeezing, right? But what about the possibility that we just trade sideways? Right? So we'll break out of the wedge, but we'll just be moving sideways. Like, that's a possibility too. So it wouldn't really be, it would be more of like a timing break rather than like a price break. You know what I mean? Like if we just trade sideways here and just move through that wedge, it'd be kind of strange, but it's possible. It is possible. Technically just trading sideways into that resistance point and getting through it like that is technically a break out of the wedge, but it's not necessarily what you would want to see if you're a bull. I don't think. Let me just go through chat here, guys. Yeah, Eric, I don't know about this weekend. It's hard to say, man. But again, guys, for those joining the stream, Bitcoin's price has not been this stable since, I'm just taking a guess here just based on what it looks like, but it's pretty obvious to see that Bitcoin's price has not been this stable since end of April of 2016, guys. 2016, we have not seen this much stability. Host Beef says news too bullish to break down. News too bullish to break down. Not necessarily, guys. I mean, the futures implementation was apparently very bullish news, right? Like, I don't think it's as simple as like ETF equals moon or backed equals moon. I don't think so, guys. Just like everyone thought that XRapid going live meant moon. Oh, we're going to the guys. It went live and it just sold off. Same thing could happen right now, guys. What if you know, an ETF or backed is already priced into the market? Who knows, right? Who knows what the insiders have already done? Maybe when it gets released, it sells off. They buy the rumor, sell the news. Like, I just don't think that certain things are any sort of, it's not a guarantee. I don't think anything's a guarantee. I don't think we're guaranteed to go up if there's an ETF that gets approved, or we're guaranteed to go up for any reason, guys. There's no guarantees. You have to sort of see things as they come. You can't, especially when you're dealing with like, you know, smaller coins and stuff, guys. Like, you can't believe anything. You cannot believe. Don't believe anything that you hear any developer saying. You wait till it actually is a real thing. You know what I mean? You can't trust anybody in this industry, guys. I'm watching with my mom right now, says Furio. Nice. Cassia says, wait for Tether exchanges to shut down. Yeah, guys, that's another thing. Tether. Right now, they're apparently going bankrupt, just like completely mismanaging their funds. And you know, you guys already know what I think about Tether. I think it's I don't even think it's real. Like, I'm pretty sure Tether's backed by nothing at all. I've made this explanation so many times about Tether. High fives to 60, then it bounces in between. Furio says, hey Kev, my mom says she doesn't think you know what intuitive means. Intuitive? I don't know what intuitive means. Your intuition? Even Tether CEO says whether Tether Bitcoin could never break 2K. Even Tether CEO says without Tether Bitcoin would never break 2K. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, yeah, it's you know, so Crypto Cali, I've explained this a lot of times. Just because, guys, consolidations aren't guaranteed to be bullish, right? When something's consolidating, just because it's a consolidation, it doesn't mean that it's a guaranteed bullish move. Consolidation, so basically, guys, a consolidation is essentially just people or a market agreeing on a price for a certain period of time. That's what the definition of a consolidation is. The market agreeing on a price for a certain period of time. And just because the market agrees on this price for this amount of time does not mean that the price is guaranteed to just move up, right? That's not what that means at all. It's very possible that the market agreed on this price for a certain period of time and it still drops to the downside, right? It's completely possible as well, guys, and that we would have like some sort of, you know, a slowly moving down to, you know, just moving down to some of these parabolic lows. You know, whenever the market decides to break these levels, guys, it's so hard to tell when it's going to happen, but I think it's gonna happen soon. I don't expect us to just trade sideways. Sneaking Weasel is asking Furio, I'm not even gonna read that. Crypto Cali says, yeah, she's pretty fun. Wait, I gotta skip these messages. Sneaking Weasel says main usage is digital gold and store of wealth, using as always. Yeah, I mean, you guys, you can say that Bitcoin's main use case is a store of value, but what happens when the price drops? What happens when you say, "Oh, I'm going to use Bitcoin as a store of value," and you put your money in at 20,000 or 17 or 15,000 or whatever, and let's just say I'm right and the price hits 2,500, and we have, let's just say, theoretically, there's 3 years of this where the price just does that for 3 years. How could you call Bitcoin a store of value if you bought in at 15,000? All of a sudden, now it's worth $2,000. How is that a store of value? I mean, I personally don't consider Bitcoin to be a store of value, because it's not a way. You can't, like, just because, yes, you're like, let's say you bought Bitcoin down here, you've created value. Yes, you've created value. But it's not necessarily like a store of. I mean, yes, it is a store of value, but it's not a way to securely store your value and make sure that your value stays the same, because that's kind of what a store of value is. I don't consider Bitcoin to necessarily be like a secure store of value. Not in my opinion, guys. Because, like, how can you say it's a store of value when it's constantly changing in value? Again, if you bought in at 15K and let's just say the price drops to 3,000, like, where, I don't know, guys. To me, I can't say that Bitcoin's a store of value. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. Sam's7867 says, "Hey Kevin, how did you learn TA? What's your history like? Love the vids." Yeah, so I mean, guys, I've been doing technical analysis since I was like, I think it was like right before I went to college. So I was like 18 years old, I guess, when I started doing TA, and I was really just doing it on my own. I just felt like, learning it on my own, watching videos, reading whatever I could get my hands on. I haven't really read that many books on technical analysis. I've really just done it, learned through experience and learned from other people, like face to face. And I've had a couple mentors, and I've watched an ungodly amount of videos on it, seeing how other people do it. I've never paid for any course, guys. I've never like bought somebody's course on how to do technical analysis, because I mean, to be honest, I just wouldn't do that. I would rather just do it myself. I would rather make mistakes on my own and learn from that than pay somebody else. I don't know. That's just how I think, though. I like to do things myself, guys. I like to be hands-on. But yeah, it's been years, guys. I mean, I'm 25 now. Been doing it since I was 18. So, I started with stocks. Obviously, I wasn't. I was not in crypto that whole time. Obviously, I don't even think that's possible. Actually, it is, but no, I was not. I mean, 2015 is when I really started getting involved in crypto. Crypto Cali says, we could trade sideways for another year? I mean, yeah, we could. It's possible. It's possible, but like, I just don't think so, guys. Sneaking Weasel says, "Guys, look at July 2015. We are not going sideways for another. We are not going sideways for another 2 months. July of 2015. So here's July of, or wait, here's July of 2015 right here. I mean, you can't, guys, you can't really compare the two directly. Like, you can't say like, oh, because this drop happened here, this drop's gonna happen here. Like, that's not, you can't really do that. You can only, like, generally look at it, not like each particular move. Like, unless Bitcoin is literally just run off a bot that makes it do the same thing, which I don't think that's true. But anyway, like, guys, if you really do want to make a comparison here, guys, look at where we are here. So the price, falls to this level. It would fall to this level here, right? So we're pretty much in this range right here. So if you are going to compare them, we have more downside. There's more downside to come. But I don't even want to do that, guys. I don't want to do a direct comparison. Even though I have in the past, I have compared these in the past, and it's not a bad thing to do. Comparing the 2014 to, you know, sell off, or 2014 sell off to the 2018 sell off. It's not a bad thing to do, but don't rely on it. It's a good way to get perspective on price spreads, but don't rely on it too much. You know, it's just a good way to get yourself to realize, like, oh, this is possible. Like, the price can do this. We can go from $1,200 to $160, right? That type of insane swing is possible, and it is possible now too, right? That's really the only thing that this is good for. That comparison, that's the only thing it's good for. It's just reminding you what is possible. David Light says, when will Carpetland be done? Well, David, that's your call. That is your call. Actually, no, it's not your call. You got some emails to send, dude. I'm working on a short film right now that maybe you guys will. I'll tell you guys about it when it's done. The director of the short film is actually in this chat right now. Sneaking Weasel says, same situation with gold. It was at 1900 years ago. Nicholas Brown says, often bulls say the gap between the next bull run and the last is a lot shorter because of what people know about Bitcoin, but could perhaps be a shorter. So guys, okay, so guys, I think this is one of the biggest misconceptions a lot of people have about this idea that, oh, Bitcoin wasn't as popular, so the decline lasted a long time. It's not going to last. They think that because Bitcoin's more popular now, the decline won't last as long. Guys, I actually think it's the opposite. I actually think that the bigger something gets, the longer the bull runs are, and the longer the bear markets are as well. Guys, I think when something grows in size and it has a larger effect on global finance and things like that, the effects of the market, I think, actually drag out for longer periods of time. Because guys, when something is small and the market cap is really small and there's not much activity, the way that things happen is very fast. Like the way that the price movements happen is very fast because there's not as many people involved. But if there's more people involved, more stability enters, there's more stability into the market, with the market, and I think things actually go, like, certain market movements will actually last longer. So I think this bear market is probably going to be 3 times as long as the 2014 one to 2015. I think this bear market is actually going to last like probably 3 times longer because it is a much bigger deal now. Bitcoin in general is just a much bigger deal. People are finding uses for it, and it's becoming more valuable just to the to the world and to like countries like Venezuela and stuff. So I think, guys, this bear market could be longer. I think it could be 3 times longer than what we saw back here, in my opinion, though. And it would only make sense, guys. As the bigger something gets, the more grand the movements become. Eric Munzo says, look at Stellar, Cardano, and Tron right now. They always move together. You guys, like, Cardano and Tron, like, people always talk about those things, like, at the same time. Have you noticed that? Like, when people talk about Cardano, they're also talking about Tron. When they talk about Tron, they're also talking about Cardano. Out of the 3, Stellar, Cardano, or Tron, I would probably pick Stellar, to be honest. Sneaking Weasel says, anybody that invested in at least 10 months ago has been using it as a store of value. Well, no, well, yes. Technically, yes, but there's been value being created. Caprithio, that's true. Bitcoin is a good store of value if you live in Venezuela. That's definitely true. If you're dealing with a failed currency or a failing one, then you probably want to be in Bitcoin. Jose says, Kev is my favorite nerd. What's up, Jose? Raul says, what's up, guys? Just got in. So I'm just getting through chat. Almost done here. David says, oh. I had to pull my funds from One Fox. Careful, guys. Domain was seized. Wait, One Fox was their domain was seized? What is One Fox? I don't even know what that is. Is that an exchange or something? Yeah, guys. So like Crypto Cali saying, I says, I hope you're right. I hope you're right that most of these shit coins will die, and we only need 10 good coins. Yeah, guys. So here's the thing. When it comes to guys, like there are thousands of currency, or hundreds. I'm just gonna say thousands. There's thousands of like real currencies in the world, right? Or hundreds of real currencies. I think it's hundreds actually. There's like a few hundred main currencies in the world, right? Like currencies that everybody uses. Like the euro, the US dollar, whatever, the ruble, it doesn't even matter, guys. Like real currencies that people are using. There's only a few hundred, maybe 1,000. But we already have 1,000 cryptocurrencies, a market cap of 200 billion, and we have 1,000 cryptocurrencies? Guys, that is so saturated. If we only have a few hundred to 1,000 real currencies in the world, why the hell do we need 1,000 cryptocurrencies? It makes no sense. We don't need it. It's just a bunch of people like scrambling to get your money, basically. Just like creating anything they can and making websites and just saying, guys, this is the next big coin, like go buy it. Like, we don't need 1,000 cryptos. If we have a few hundred to 1,000 currencies in the entire world, we only need like what Crypto Cali is saying here, like 10 cryptos at most. You know, like privacy coins, utility tokens, smart contract platforms, whatever, like reward tokens, like those. We only need a few of those, guys. Seeking Weasel says, I just remembered I tipped you Bitcoin after seeing one of your vids for the first time a while back. It was a legacy address, and I think it took about 3 days to confirm. I used a low fee. I'm not sure. I got to go back and check. Maybe I did. I actually think I do remember getting some Bitcoin a while back, and just being like, where did this come from? Like just having no idea. So I think I might have gotten that. I'm not totally sure though. I got to check. But yeah, guys, Bitcoin is. I mean. Right now, guys, the market is super stable. There's really not all that much to talk about right now, when it comes to the technical analysis. Not all that much to talk about. I mean, we're seeing some of the most stability the market has seen since 2016, since early 2016, or April 2016. The market hasn't really been this stable. So it's really interesting, guys. Volume is pretty low. Volume is actually decreasing slightly, right? A slight decrease in volume. So we'll see, guys. You know, I'm pretty sure that, you know, we're going to see what happens. There might be some crazy FOMO articles that come out that cause some sort of false breakout. In my opinion, I think that's what's going to happen. Guys, I mean, if I'm going to like draw out what I envision for Bitcoin, it's like a false breakout. Probably not even that much. Probably just to one of these resistance points, right? False breakout. The price comes down, you know, have a couple bounces at this level. Like obviously it's not going to happen like this, but actually that was bad. I'm just drawing theoretically like what I see the price to be doing, right? A lot of people tell me I'm crazy, but when I actually depict it for them and I show them like what it could look like, they're like, oh wow, maybe you're not crazy. Like, guys, this is all that I'm imagining, right? If you're actually looking at this chart right now, this doesn't seem that crazy. It actually seems pretty damn practical that the price would end up retesting these parabolic lows right here, right? It seems pretty practical, I think. You know, when I actually show people this, when I depict it for them and they look at this chart, they're like, oh, that looks pretty realistic. I'm like, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Like, we don't, like, a lot of people think I'm crazy for doing this prediction, and then a lot of other YouTubers will be like, yeah, we're just gonna moon, guys. Like, oh my god, we're just gonna get an ETF and Bakkt is gonna moon Bitcoin. I'm like, dude, oh my god, like, you have no vision, guys. Like, you have to have pullbacks. Like, you have to have pullbacks. Like, you can't just go up forever. Like, it's just complete common sense, guys. And anyway, something like this, where we, you know, we hit multiple levels of support. Finally, I think creating a bottom around $2,500 and then building back up. You know, who knows how long it'll take. You know, it's possible that, you know, maybe the price ends up trading in this zone for a while and eventually we break up. Maybe, whoops. Maybe we even trade back down. Like, who knows, guys, who knows exactly how it's going to play out? I have no idea. But, like, something like this taking place makes way more sense to me than just mooning to 100 grand like everyone thinks. But again, guys, like, look at this chart. Does this seem unreasonable to you? Does the $2,500 price level still look unreasonable? No, it still shows perfect growth, guys. Perfect growth. You see that? Like, we would just essentially be like creating a much larger parabolic movement, like much larger. Like, if you're looking at it from a very large scale, this would be like the next parabolic low, and it would be like, you know, going into a few decades. Like, it just makes more sense to me than us just going up now. But anyway, that's just, guys, this is just what I think. $2,500 price, or, you know, buy target for Bitcoin. And again, guys, once we get below that $4,500 zone, I'm going to start to consider, like, okay, maybe I want to accumulate something. Maybe I want to put like 5% accumulation capital in here. And as we start getting lower and lower, averaging in more, and then, you know, hopefully, you know, finding out where we actually bottom out. Because I'm very confident this is going to happen, guys. I'm very confident that the price is going to find itself at one of these parabolic lows. I mean, if you ask Tone Vays, he thinks it's going to be like here. I don't believe it's going to be that low, but it could. Who knows? Tronix thinks I'm trolling for saying 2,500, but I'm not trolling, guys. I think it's pretty reasonable. McGregor, I don't even know what you're saying. Khabib. Oh, McGregor will KO Khabib. Oh, yeah, I agree. McGregor's my boy. Carpithia says, as far as I know, real USD is forbidden in Venezuela. Venezuela? USD is forbidden in Venezuela, guys? I didn't know that. Tronix is saying 2,500 never gonna happen, right? That's what Tronix is saying. If I had told Tronix when the price hit 20,000, if I had said, hey Tronix, we're gonna be at 6K next month, he would have said, ha, troll, never gonna happen. Just saying, dude. I'm just saying. Like, a lot of people think things are so unbelievable, and then they happen, and then they act like they knew it was gonna happen. It's just like, all right. What did I miss? Still heading down? No, the price is very stable right now. So we're just, you know, we're just talking about possibilities. What I was saying is, if we get above the 6,900 level to the 7,000 level, if we break above that, it's a breakout, and I think it's going to be a false breakout. I think the price won't actually hold above here, and I think that, you know, even on a breakout, I think we're going to end up selling back down, you know, hitting like 4,500. You know, testing these parabolic lows and eventually finding a low somewhere. I think it's going to be 2,500, but that's just my opinion, guys. Everyone has their own guess. Some people think that Bitcoin is going to go to 100K by next month. Some people think that Bitcoin is going to hit 2,500 in a few months, right? A lot of people say, Kevin, you're crazy. You think that Bitcoin is going to go to 2,500? Like, you're crazy. You think that could possibly happen? And then they talk about 50K Bitcoin, right? So we're talking, guys, we're talking about, what is it? We're at 6,500. Let's just say we're at $6,500 right now. 5,500, 4,500, 3,500, 2,500. So my prediction is a $4,000 price spread. I believe that we're going to move $4,000 to the downside. People that think we're going to get 50K or 100K, they're predicting a 40 a $44,000 price rise. So people think that I'm crazy for predicting a $4,000 drop when they themselves are predicting a $44,000 price rise. So just put that into perspective, guys. Like, people just think that anything that's like below 5K is a stupid prediction or a crazy prediction. It's not. It's really not. Because those same people are talking about a 30K, 50K Bitcoin, which is a $44,000 move to the upside. And that's just kind of nuts, in my opinion. So, like, I don't know. Just my opinion, guys. Like, have you ever considered that maybe Bitcoin will end up just trading sideways for a long time? Like not sideways, but the price will sell off, will bounce back, will sell off, and we'll be like in this you realize that it is possible that Bitcoin's price kind of just has like these volatile swings for the next decade, right? It's not necessarily like we're guaranteed to moon at some point. Like, oh, we hit 5K, we find a bottom, next step, 30,000. Like, no, guys, it's not always that simple, and it's probably not going to happen that way. It's probably going to be something that you don't expect. Guys, usually in markets, especially when you're trading and what you expect to happen usually doesn't happen. Like, most of the time, like, a lot of the things that you're expecting don't really happen. So, you know, I'm expecting a $2,500 drop. Other people are expecting a 30K Bitcoin next year. Like, maybe none of those things are going to happen. Maybe we end up just trading sideways for a while. Like, who knows, guys? Like, there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees. Nothing. There's no, like, you can't. How do I even explain what I'm trying to say? First off, guys, like, when you can calculate the value of a stock, right? You can say, oh, Apple stock should be worth this much because of this, that, and that reason, based on real tangible assets and real tangible things that actually will play into the book value of a stock. With Bitcoin, that's impossible. You can't actually calculate the value of one Bitcoin. It's just a chosen thing. There's no, like, stocks you can actually calculate this is what it should be. Bitcoin, that's impossible. You can't do that because it's not based on anything real. Like, it's not really based on anything other than, of course, you could say, you know, the mining industry and the exchanges. You could try to calculate that and say that, well, Bitcoin is relatively this price, but at the same time, guys, you really can't. The price is so inflated to the upside right now that you can't really say that this is the proper price for a Bitcoin. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, guys, today's stream is not like a usually I go live when the price is doing crazy stuff. Today's the opposite. You know, the price is pretty much doing nothing, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna name this like record levels of stability, because that's what it is, guys. The price has not been like this like for many years. We have not seen this before. So we'll see what happens. I'm expecting a false breakout, right? And the price ending up, you know, actually falling back down. But who knows, guys? Maybe it's not even that bullish. Maybe we just break down from here. I don't know. But we will see, guys. Not all that much to talk about. With really nothing happening in the market. Let's look at our biggest winners. Wait, what? There's like no big winners today. That's kind of unusual. No big. Yeah, it's so stable right now, guys. There's like no big winners, no big losers. Things are just really, really stable. So I kind of expect something to happen soon. Not sure when, but. We didn't get blinded by that. Just looking at the news section. Wall Street calls a bottom in the Bitcoin. God, you never trust a headline like that. Wall Street calls Bitcoin bottom. Just crap. Kev, what do you think of if the S&P 500 tanks? In my opinion, close to topping. Wait, Tronix is breaking all those support levels are much harder. Tronix, breaking those support levels is not that hard. the hardest support level to break is actually the 6K level. If you get below the 6K level, guys, the highest area of value right now is the 6K level. This area, the most volume in Bitcoin exists in this range. So if we fall below this range, guys, it is going to be very, very easy, very, very easy, very, very easy to get to these parabolic levels. If we can get below the 6K. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I'm saying if we can get below 6K, which is our highest area of value, the most volume took place on this level. If we can get below that, it'll be easy, guys, to hit these parabolic levels. Okay, so Casio is saying, what do I think of the S&P 500 tanks? Guys, so Bitcoin has been on the rise since 2008. And since 2008, we have seen, we saw, a market, the entire market basically collapsed. We had a strong recession. Stocks were hitting very low points. And from there, guys, we kind of just bounced. And we've had the longest bull run in American history. Since 2008, the U.S. stock market has been in the longest bull run in the history of the country, which happened recently. I think we just got into that area of the longest bull run ever. So you have to realize, guys, that as Bitcoin's been growing, so has the stock market. So stock market goes up, Bitcoin goes up. So what's going to happen, guys? If the stock market goes up and Bitcoin's been going up with it, direct correlation where they both go up together. If the stock market tanks, what's Bitcoin going to do? Probably tank as well. I don't think that it's going to be this thing where everyone just trusts Bitcoin all of a sudden, and everyone just goes into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's price flies up, and everyone's hedging against the Wall Street by using Bitcoin. I don't think so, guys. I think because we've been moving up with the market, we'll probably move down with the market as well. Can Ethereum flip Bitcoin in the next bull run? I don't know about that, guys. I don't know. There's far too much uncertainty in Ethereum right now with the leadership and the direction that it's going. God, I mean, Tronics, like if you're looking at I don't have the volume profile tool on CryptoWatt.ch, but I think TradingView does. If you take out that volume profile tool, you'll see that the most volume in Bitcoin is at this level, is at that 6K level. So if the price falls below the 6K level, not only will we hold below it because it'll become a major resistance point for a while. That's like kind of what I was depicting here. We fall below, we'll just be hitting a bunch of resistance. But it's just, guys, we're like, if we get below that 6K mark, we will not return back above it for a long time, in my opinion, guys. In my opinion, we're not going to return back above 6K if we get below it for at least a year. Guys, like this idea of like guys, $6,000, right? The $6,000 level that you see here, whoops. It's been tested, right? It's been tested one and a half, I'll just say two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, basically. Like almost a dozen times, right? We've tested that 6K level almost a dozen times. How many times have we tested the 5K level? None since this top. So the idea of $5,000 being this imaginary support area, it's just imaginary. It's just a fairy tale that everybody has in their heads that, oh, 5K will be the next major support. Like, what evidence do you have of that at all? The only evidence you would have is maybe this area of value right here. I guess not even that, really. I mean, guys, there's just no evidence to say that, oh, 5K is the next major support. There's nothing backing that claim up at all. Saying that, 6K is our... If you say that 6K is the bottom, you can actually kind of support that theory with some sort of argument, but you have nothing to support the idea of 5,000 being the major support level, that it's going to be the final support level that Bitcoin hits, and then we're going to moon. Like that, there's nothing backing up that idea, guys. It's just an imaginary fairy tale that people keep telling themselves. It's just this psychological, like 5,000, like, ooh, that's a great number. Ooh, like, guys, no, I'm sorry. 5K will not be a major support level. If we get below 6K, which is the major support level, we're going to hold below it for a while. How long have we been live? 15 minutes, almost an hour. Guys, I'm not going to be going on too much longer because there's not all that much going on today. Prices are extremely stable. Of course, if things happen, guys, if things start happening in the market, you know I'm going to be going live. Did I move this over by accident? I think I did. Whoops. But yeah, guys, just wanted to hop on here, let you guys know what I thought. I'm not going to be going on that much longer. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell button so you know when I am going live. And if you are interested in joining my Patreon for exclusive content every month, the link is in the description. Guys, I'm going to end the stream kind of soon. I'll stick around for a minute here, though. But I'm going to end it pretty soon. So overall, this is the 4-hour chart right now. Just looking at what the price has been doing, it's kind of just been on a slight uptrend here for the most part. Hitting this resistance point here. Not quite getting above it, but the price is currently on a slight upward trend. Just like before, guys, just like this upward trend, just because the price is having higher lows, it does not mean that it's guaranteed to go up. For most of this year, people were following this support line. We had higher lows, and we actually broke below it. Same thing can happen right here, guys. We could have an area of higher lows, just like this. And then we can eventually, as we did before, break lower. Have an area of higher lows, break lower. Higher lows, break lower. Higher lows don't necessarily indicate a guaranteed move. It's just, you know, makes it a higher probability of a bullish move, but it does not guarantee anything, guys. But yeah, guys, that's probably going to be it for me today. Thank you guys all for joining. Not much going on in the market right now. Just wanted to go live to, you know, express my ideas for you guys in this interesting time of stability in the market. Sort of just wanted to talk about more long-term possibilities, just sort of depicting what my vision for the price of Bitcoin looks like, which when you actually see it in full scale, it doesn't look that bad, right? It actually makes kind of a lot of sense. But anyway, guys, that's just my opinion. Thank you guys so much for joining. Just making sure I got everything in chat here, if I didn't miss anything. Yeah, guys, these live streams, it's just a live stream hangout. I do my analysis. You guys ask questions. We have a back and forth, and that's about it, guys. So anyway, I'm going to end the stream here. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, hit that bell button. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.